Greetings, everyone. Happy Saturday. Today is the day that Saturn governs, and Saturn is currently in Pisces at the 14th degree of Pisces. We are nearing the very end of Mercury retrograde, the post shadow. Mercury retrograde ended a few weeks, 2.5 weeks ago. But the post shadow is now completing. It ends on January 2nd. This work has been so rich, you all. And the reason it has a different kind of tenor is because it's retrograde in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is the energy of faith and expansion and blessings and possibilities. Like Sagittarius is adventure. It's a beneficial. They call it a benefic. I think it's benefic, but it's like good. And this reality is not good or bad. Oftentimes people come to me and is it bad? Is it good? It's not good or bad in the ways we think of it in our humanness. It's just positive and negative, and that's normal. And so Sagittarius is just a very positive energy. And because we are at a time when there's so much confusion and darkness, and chaos, when we have these beneficial energies, it's an opportunity for organization to occur. It's an opportunity for creation. Like, it's a high opportunity because the contrast is great. So this has been a very powerful Mercury retrograde because Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius in opposition to Jupiter. Like, I'm telling you guys the math, you guys might not get the math, but all I'm saying is this is some really highly beneficial energy if you can hold it. Now, if you can't hold it, it just is what it is. It's more chaos. It's more confusion. But if you can watch the cycles, if you can track your own energy and behavior, which is why I've been here doing these videos every day, to give you a different perspective in how you're experiencing your reality. Because if you can take a different perspective, then you can have a different experience. Everything here is mental. That's what I've been saying. Everything here is mental. So if you can tell a different story about the same experience, you can create a different energy and a different response from the reality. So, one of the things I use as an example is the narrative around racism, right? Because it's a big energy pull in this culture, racism. And when I started telling myself that racism was my obstacle course, that racism was actually here to help me get strong, that racism was actually a benefit to me, when I started telling myself that, it started becoming that. It started working in my favor. And when I started telling myself that racism is a trick on white people because it makes them soft, it makes them believe that things should be handed to them, that they are above other people and that they should have it easier. And, and we actually, in this universe, it's through grit and opposition and through obstacles that we build our power. Your magic comes from your ability to face the obstacles, to recognize that what's happening is actually serving you rather than harming you. And the way we narrate our lives is the key. The way you narrate the story is the key. So today Mercury is at the 15th degree. And this is the third time it is at the 15th degree. The 15th degree is the degree that is ruled by Mercury. So today is a very magical day because if you can change your mind about something, you can create the miracle. If you can see it in a different way, if you can see something as serving you rather than harming you, it will serve you. Now, look at something in your life. So yesterday I talked about value. Go back and look at yesterday's video. And I want you to look at your relationships or the things in your life. And I want you to break it down. Like, really think about what's the value of look at all your major relationships and what is the value of them? What does that person offer you that's valuable? And why is it valuable? And what do you think you offer that person that's valuable? And why is it valuable? Look at your job, your work. How valuable is it? Like, is it serving you? Why? How? What's the benefit? Is it just about money or is it really about something else? Like, really look at things. But if you write them down and you begin to see them for what you're really up to and what you're really doing, then you can begin to shift the experience of things. Like, it's like when I was married, my relationship with my ex-husband was really challenging for me. It was so hard because we were different. We did things differently. We thought differently. I was still very traumatized. He probably was too, but I always felt like I was in an oppositional pull, like that there was a power struggle going on. And it wasn't until I started to tell myself that this relationship is helping me get strong. This relationship is helping me develop my sense of self, my character, my morals, my own power. This rather than making him be a villain, I made the experience be something that was beneficial to me. And that stopped me from resisting it. I stopped resisting it and I started using it as an opportunity to grow. It's the same thing I did with racism. When I stopped saying that racism is horrible and it should go away, and I started saying, how does this experience benefit me? How could this actually be supporting me? Because the universe works through what you believe. And if you believe everything is serving you, then everything must serve you. It cannot go against how you articulate your internal experience of it. Now, so people who do this easily, right? Like athletes, they work until their bodies are broken, but they have a reward. They know that there's a reward for the work that they are doing on their bodies. They're going to go compete in the Olympics and win an award. They're going to go play, the Super Bowl, but so they can endure these experiences that are very uncomfortable and painful because the pain serves. You just have to know that when we don't create an experience where we are in an active experience of pain and service, then the universe will do it for you. And it'll be a painful relationship with your mother or a painful relationship with your child. If you aren't creating the opportunity for your experience to be rigorous in ways that are working for you, then the universe will give it to you. Now, so whatever's going on in your life that is challenging, a health challenge, a relationship challenge, ask yourself, how is this serving me? How is this a benefit to me? And be willing to see it. Be willing. I don't care how difficult it is. Be willing to see it, and it will reveal itself as a benefit to you. She said, I'm having a dream session with a woman, and my family next Saturday, waxing moon in Pisces, looking to help us define our individual. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. So today, like I said, Mercury's at this degree for the third time. And one of the things that I have been working on, I have been working on building my courage to move through this world as the dominant force. I have had a lot of stories that have told me that there are other forces that are more dominant than me. People, people are, whether like white people or men and what I know is that everyone has dominance somewhere, somehow. And my dominance comes through my subconscious. And if I can see myself experiencing something the way I desire to experience it in my subconscious and feel it in my body, then it must follow in that way. It must follow. Like nothing can have superiority over me if I have seen it in my mind in the way where I am winning. I've just been building this energy of loving myself and knowing that if I can come back to myself, if I'm not expecting anyone to bend for me or to substantiate me without me loving myself and knowing that I am enough and that I'm the creator of the reality and that everything here is serving me, whatever happens, because I am the creator of it. Like, and I mean like intense ways. Like I'm the creator of the United States of America. I'm the creator of Donald Trump. I am the creator of the sky, the moon. Why? Because I tell the story about it. The story of what the United States of America is in my mind. So if I say the United States of America blesses me in all the ways that I need, that it is always working to make sure that I am good and safe and held, if I say that the United States of America is on its knees, making sure that I have everything I need and that my children are safe. If I say that and I hold that frequency and I function from that way of moving through the world, it must be so. See, the challenge is that we look out in the world and think that the world, and then we adjust ourselves for the world. You don't adjust yourself for the world. The world will adjust itself for you if you have the courage to tell the story where you are the dominant force. And this is the power of your mind. Nothing is greater than me. Nothing has power over me. I am a force of life. I am a force of love. I am a force of joy. I am a force of divinity. Everything serves me. Everything is in service to my good. Everything. No matter what it looks like. And because I function in that way and I write it down and I say it to myself and I remind myself, and now Mercury's at the 15th degree, which is a Mercury degree, is high magic in the air today. It's high magic in the air. And so how are you going to reinforce what it is you actually desire? How do you, and understanding, because Mercury has Mercury is dualistic, Mercury, like Gemini is the twins, right? It's the light and the dark. If you think about a picture with a negative and how the light, the yin yang, what's in the light is in the dark and what's in the dark is in the light. So the more we focus on what we want to see, it comes and projects itself into the 3D reality. This shit is so magical. It's so magical. But if you are fixed on the world is out to get you and creating boogeymans, then you won't have the power because you're narrating your own demise. And you cannot narrate your demise. You cannot. You cannot. All right. So there's some really interesting stuff going on. Mars and Pluto are going to be in opposition. Mars is retrograde in Leo, and it's going to be in opposition with Pluto. This is really a sign of like an internal war. And so this is about us breaking away from our old ways of being. So there could be a lot of conflict and disruption and chaos in your life right now because of the breaking away from the old. And there is an opportunity, the work is to don't get caught up in the mind. Don't get caught up in the mind. Be in your feelings. How do you want to feel? What feels right? Trust your feelings. Don't overthink things right now. It will not serve you. It will not serve you. Go to your heart. It will feel right. This feels right for me. Seek out people who you can trust to have deep conversations with, to ask for support, to ask for guidance. If you're going through things, like do the opposite thing. Do the opposite thing. Don't do the thing that you would typically do. Take a different pathway. And set intention. Set intention for your highest, best, and good to be revealed. And it will be. It totally will be. This retrograde is over on January 2nd. We have a new moon in Capricorn on Monday, which is where this new moon is going to come. And this new moon is about your authority, like you really being an authority. So your thought is the major power here. What you desire is the major power, but you have to be consistent. You have to be focused, disciplined. You can't be wiggly. You can't be like you can't see something external and then give it all up. You have to know, you have faith. You trust the process. Things are working out. You are devoted. You're going to see it through. You're going to stand for yourself, like that kind of energy. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Thank you all for donations. For those of you who donated, thank you so much. I really appreciate donations. I appreciate your thank yous. I appreciate you telling me how the work has supported you. I appreciate that stuff. It's fuel for me. It's fuel to help me continue to show up, understanding that the perspective that I have is valuable. And for a long time I saw the world through such a unique lens, and I felt insecure to share how I see things, because when I would, people didn't really get it. But now I've built a whole practice around it and my clients are thriving and people's lives have transformed, and I'm starting to feel really confident about what it is that I'm doing and how I can support. So thank you for allowing me to be of a support to you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.